actually occurring. It is here. Jesus said that one thing that would happen before he returns is every nation would hear the gospel. Yes, obviously it talks about how wars, rumors of wars, famines would occur, but it's amazing how what's happening. You look at over 100 million Christians now in China, which is the capital of the entire world for Christianity. You look at places like Iran, where you had just a couple years ago the quickest growing church in the world, and it was predominantly women in Iran who were willing to get persecuted and bring Bibles in even. Or you look at South Korea, has gone in the last 100 years from 1% Christian up to over 50%. Or Africa, 1% up to over 40%. Or look at Brazil, look at Latin America, explosive growth all over the world. Look at how many Muslims are coming to know Christ through dreams. Unexplainable. This is something that Christ said would happen, and it's amazing how we're getting Bibles into persecuted countries and how the word is spreading so quickly. Keep praying, guys.
Oh, Cliffy Jr., you make me laugh. Made the dog bark on that laugh, didn't it? But Cliff Jr., again, espousing incorrect information in order to validate his Jesus. Now, this is a nifty piece of marketing by which that he is utilizing in order to convince you that Christianity and the Bible is real and it is valid. The fact that he is stating that he gives the premise based on the Bible that every nation shall hear the word of Jesus before the end time shall come. So what he's doing is trying to give you an idea of empirical fact about the Bible, that it must be true because every nation is hearing about the Bible. And if that is valid, if I can validate that, then the Bible is true, and thereby using the other form of marketing that keeps people indoctrinated into this religion, which is fear. The fear piece comes in the idea that this end time when Jesus will return, and then if you're not believing in Jesus, then you will suffer for all eternity in this lake of fire. So in effect, what he's doing is utilizing this skill set to keep you indoctrinated and get people into this religion by utilizing fear and trying to fact base this information on that fear, when the truth is just that it's more and more of the same type of marketing filled with information that he leaves out very important things. Like, what's one of the very important things he left out? Well, one of the ways you grow and sustain a religion is you do so by force. The question is, how did Africa go from, and not in the last 100 years, but in the last 500 years, how did Africa go from 0% Christian to about 50%, 60% Christianity now? This was done through the colonization of Africa by Europeans, because the Muslims can make the same claim of North Africa through the colonization and the conquering of North Africa. North Africans, half of Africa is, almost half of Africa is Muslim. So therefore, he leaves that part out. It is not through evangelism. How did Brazil become Christian? Oh, well, Brazil was conquered by the Portuguese and conquered by the Spanish and the Dutch. And through that conquering of the indigenous people and the forced enslavement of transatlantic slave trade, Brazil became Christian in the last 500 years. So what he's saying, and they've been Christian, mostly Catholic Christian through this whole time frame. So he's not telling you certain information in order to try to validate his religion, in order to make you think in fear of going and suffering in this lake of fire. Now, the other piece is also an ingenious way of marketing. He utilized countries that are oppressive countries, not just oppressive as far as religion is concerned, oppressive as far as human rights and civil rights. These people, these women in Iran, for instance, one of the reasons why people convert over to Christianity out of Islam, now they're not converting so much out of other religions where you have fair treatment as a human, but in these countries like Iran, where women are subjugated under Sharia law, yes, they see Christianity as a more enlightened religion that is similar to their Abrahamic religion, which they stem from. So because Christianity has been able to mold itself to change as the cultures change. You know, like slavery is validated in your Bible. Oh no, the morality of slavery is changing. So let's change the morality of the Bible to say no slavery. Women were just property in the Bible. Oh no, we had women's rights and women's live. So let's change the Bible to fit the morality of the day. And because of that, these women, like in Iran, they see that change. They see the freedom of their self and their ability to be a woman and be able to wear whatever she wants to wear, not be held on the Sharia law. So it becomes an attraction. It's marketing. And the same thing can be said for China. China, when I was growing up, was one of the most oppressive countries in the world. South Korea was very, well, he says South Korea, but South Korea ever since the Korean War has been influenced by Christianity. So I don't know what he's talking about in South Korea. If he would have said North Korea, he might have had something. But China was one of those also oppressive countries when I was growing up. And now China has opened itself up to develop. It's changing to fit more of the times. And in that change, people see that same type of marketing that the Iranian women saw. And so they're changing. Now he talking about people converting over because they had a dream, all the people converting over because they had a dream. He provides no proof of that. I went through a bunch of his videos to try to find the proof of that, to see if there were some interviews. I did searches online. It was one or two people here and there who converted from Islam because they claimed they had a dream. But, you know, hell, I had this dream last night that I was going to wake up in this magnificent house and everything. And when I woke up in the magnificent house, then all of a sudden a bulldozer came through and tore the house down. And then I got on the bulldozer and somehow the bulldozer was flying and I got over to Africa in the bulldozer. And then the bulldozer turned into a Maserati. And then I was driving down the street, but all of a sudden I was in Tokyo. So I don't know what the hell these dreams ain't meaning what this man think they mean. So I'm just saying, you know, Cliffy Jr. is just using marketing and using improper information to try to validate his religions. And all of that is based on favorable terms to how our morality has changed today and make it fit into the Bible so that he can then utilize the fear of hell to keep people in this book. The end times are not coming, but everybody has their own end time for the existence that they have right now. And that is your end time. So make the most out of your life right now. Live for you, live for your family, find your own purpose of why you exist, not some outside deities or some control system purpose. So always remember, you have to free yourself to be yourself because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.